The Bulls just got exactly what they deserved from the Spurs, again letting teams back into the game in the fourth quarter, even without Giddey and White. This is a game versus a top-tier Western Conference team in the Spurs, leaving us with a must-win against the 9-2 Pistons. What's going on, Bulls fans? Hard road to hoe. Remember, it is a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm going to be as honest as I can with you. It's not good. 4 out of 5 dropping them, not good, but there are positives to take away since these are top-tier playoff teams. We're going to break it all down with you today, and we're going to make sure you are up to the know in all things Chicago Bulls. But first thing is first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're noticing only 32.5% of you who are stopping by are subscribed. 67.5% are not, and you're going to want to be subscribed and updated to all things Chicago Bulls so we can keep you in the know and you are updated. It's a hard night tonight. We're close, though. You can feel we're close, especially with the hot start we had. The question for us is, how do we do this without Josh Giddey? How do we do this without Coby White? How do we do this without Zack Collins? And we're still so tight and so close. You can feel it. We can see it. Now, the negatives we're going to point out tonight in the stat sheet. And it's points in the paint, and it's also we got out rebounded. And let's just say Wemby did what Wemby does. Wemby does Wemby things, and Fox helped him out, and they also had a ton of assists. So you got to give credit where credit's due. Spurs really are a hot team in the West. You know they're second in the West for a reason. It's not as if they're slouches. That's not a thing where we can just go, oh, we should have beat them with our third stringers or our second stringers. That's not a thing. The good news is we hung in the game, which is not normal Bulls. And we did this without Josh Giddey. We did this without Coby White, and we did this without Zack Collins. So what is good to take away from this? At the halftime, again, this is just like the Bucks game. We are doing the right adjustments. We are hanging around. We hit our threes at a higher ratio, and you're going to see this later in the video. We hit our threes at a higher ratio, which allowed us to stay in the game. And at halftime, when you're up like this against the Spurs and they're on the road, you got to close this out in the fourth quarter. We were unable to because Wemby hit 2 clutch threes down the line, and it really did sting. You saw it in the intro video, and let's just say what it is. Dude's going to do what dude's going to do. Wemby's going to do Wemby things, and if our defense can't rise up, and I'm talking about Vuk here, his interior defense has actually showed up a little this season, and his offense showed up really tight with Giddey starting the season. But now you're seeing a little bit of a decline that's not making me happy, and it's not making us happy. Now, here is the key to what happened tonight. No Josh Giddey, and I'm going to be honest, whether it's Coby White or Josh Giddey, our assists come off the engine of our point guard, and it was absent tonight at a little bit of a level, but I'm going to also give tons of praise to Tre Jones. Tre Jones stepped up tonight with 20 points. He was a superstar in every conceivable way against a top-tier Western defense. Well, the West really doesn't have defense, so that's not a top-tier defense. It's just Olay and go. But at least Tre Jones showed up, and he hit his open shots. But the bottom line is Josh Giddey was out. The ankle breaker, Huerter just broke his ankles, literally and figuratively, and it was kind of embarrassing. So he's going to have to live on that reel, and he's going to have to come back. And what does he do out of this? Well, to me, Josh Giddey has a lot to prove. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He got the payday, and now we want to see what he does when he comes back. He better be able to suit up against the Pistons because we need him. We need him badly. And when I say badly, I mean very badly. Our stat sheet, we had 6 Bulls in double digits, but it wasn't quality double digits, and our assists were down. Look at our assists. Our number 1 assist was Tre Jones because he stepped up in Giddey's replacement with 7. That is not enough. That's just not enough. It's not enough to cover what we're trying to accomplish, and it's not enough to do what we need to do to win against a top-tier team in the West. It's just not. And we know what it is that we got to do, and we know what it is that we don't. The key to us is healthy. I kept saying this in videos before. The depth of our bench will help us win games that we shouldn't win, but it all comes down to health. So Again, Trey Jones stepped up tonight to fill a role that was desperately needed, and we're grateful for it. He had 20 points tonight, and that's, if you look, that is at least 8 points over his average. That's a solid position for him. And he won even 2 more assists, which you like to see, because those are the kind of things that you expect from people who want to step up and fill in a role. We're getting a ton out of him right now. We need a little more, but we also need Coby to come back. So imagine Josh and Coby doing that switch versus Trey, where when Trey comes in, his contribution is massive. That's going to be the kind of thing that we want to see in the future. That's going to be the kind of thing we want to see if we have serious aspirations of being a 4, 5, or 6 in the East. And the East, even though it's down, it is down this year. Let's call it what it is. It's down, and there's going to be a lot of jockeying going on. This is a marathon, not a sprint. But we're going to have to see where we land, and it's interesting. Now, this is a weird thing, and I'm going to bring this up. Billy Donovan is our head coach, and he basically said, we got into the paint. The finishing part might have been a little different. I feel like we lived in the paint. And he's saying that by, I think we were in the right position in the paint. But I'm going to point out to you that I actually don't think we actually lost in the paint points, which is a bit of a problem and a bit of a headache to me, because to me, we lost the paint point battle. Wemby was more tight. He made 3 different plays where he was just trying to maybe pass the ball and then he just dunks it. Like, that's a freak. You're not going to stop the superstar freak. That's just going to be something you have to deal with, and something we have to deal with, and it's frustrating, and it's something we're going to have to stop. Defensively, if you close the lane, that can happen. So here's what I was trying to say to you. If you look at the points in the paint, and that's really important, points in the paint. The Spurs had 58 points in the paint. The Bulls had 44. Okay, that is a disconnect from what Billy just said. He said we lived in the paint. Yes, we lived in the paint, but points in the paint is where you live in the paint. If you're standing in the paint and you can't hit your layups or can't hit your shots, that's irrelevant. So that is a serious disconnect that we're going to have to look at very closely moving forward. Is Billy charting, or do we have a charter on the bench? We know the 2 bench coaches. We like them. They're solid. I just need to make sure those bench coaches are giving Billy the right stat sheet, because was he checking out? Was he checking Trivago for different trips that he wants to take with his wife for an anniversary? I don't know. So the thing to remember is 4 losses in 5 games is detrimental, but who we're playing is more important. We're playing top-tier teams in both the East and now one in the West. I don't mind losing by these tight margins. The difference is I need Giddey back healthy, and Wednesday is going to be a massive game. Everybody pay attention to this. I don't say must win early in the season because it's a marathon, but this is a must win, and you have to win it with a full team effort. You have solid defense. We're going to need to see a better impact, and we're going to need to see a tighter game. This is all about the Bulls' will to keep that hot start going, and if they can't, we're in a bit of a jam. So the only good news is on Sunday we get a 3-day off, and on Sunday we get the Jazz, so that's a little free cupcake. So just enjoy it while we can. Go Bulls, important. Win Wednesday.